Instead of teaching humans to communicate with machines, teaching machines to communicate with humans. I'm Tonya Hall for ZDNet and Tech Republic, and joining me is Ken Dodelin. He is the Vice President of Conversational AI Products at Capital One. Welcome, Ken.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Explain what conversational AI products are at Capital One.
Sure. So at Capital One, we've been aggressive in the conversational AI space, and the products we've launched in this area include the first skill on the Alexa platform that enabled customers to access their accounts just by asking through voice. So they could say, what's my balance? What are my recent transactions? They could even pay their bill all through Alexa. And then we followed that with extending it to the Cortana platform. And then last year, we turned our attention to text. And so simply by sending a text to Eno, our intelligent assistant, again, customers could get information about their accounts, their balance, recent transactions, pay their bill, all through texting. And so this process of being able to have a conversation with customers through an intelligent assistant is something we're really excited about.
What is Capital One doing differently from the standpoint of other financial institutions in regards to artificial intelligence and chatbots?
Sure. So as I mentioned, we've been aggressive. So we were the first bank on the Alexa platform and the Cortana platform, and the first bank to launch a natural language SMS chatbot in the U.S. And so I guess the first thing that we've been different about is just being aggressive and getting out in front of the change curve here in conversational AI and really putting products in front of customers and learning from them. Another example of how we're trying to bring the humanity of a conversation to our customers is something we launched just last month, which is, you may be familiar if regardless of where you bank, and I won't put you on the spot, but we banks, we send these SMS alerts that come out when we notice an abnormal or suspicious transaction in your account. And the typical MO is that they're extremely structured. And so this text message will come to you and say, we noticed this transaction, please text us back, confirm if it was you or deny if it was not, or some variant of that. And what we found when we looked at our logs was that 15% of responses from customers are neither confirm nor deny, because people don't behave like machines, right? That whole construct is about trying to get people to act like machines rather than getting the machines to understand people. And that's a big part of what conversational AI is about. And so what we just recently launched was we said, all right, we'll have Eno send those alerts, our intelligent assistant, which has natural language processing. And so now when Eno sends those alerts, we understand not 85% of responses from customers, we understand 99%. And so when customers are sending us back things like they always do, that are, yeah, that was me, yep, thumbs up emoji, that was baseball equipment for my grandson, those types of things, Eno is able to understand, which is a great customer experience and also good for the customer and good for our business in that minutes matter in moments of compromised accounts. And so we're able to take corrective actions on suspected fraud.
So let's back up a bit. You mentioned Eno. You introduced Eno in March of 2017 and its first natural language SMS chatbot from the U.S. Bank. What's the story behind the creation of Eno?
Yeah, so the experience I just described to you is one that got us moving because we noticed this in the logs, right? We had this experience out there where people were, I like to say that we launched a chatbot and no one told us because we were texting folks and asking them to reply, which they were doing in their own way that they communicate on text. And so as we started looking at it, we said, hey, we're not understanding a lot of these. Why don't we build something that allows us to understand our customers a little better instead of asking them to behave like machines? Now, what's interesting is you don't have to teach people how to text. You don't have to teach them to go download or go use this. They just do it naturally. And so one of the things we found is that when you go to pay your bill through Eno, we'll send you a message that says, okay, before I process this, just make sure I've got all the information right. text back confirm or a thumbs up emoji. And we have found that more than 50% of our customers confirm their payment now with a thumbs up emoji when paying through Eno, which is a fascinating thing of just the, hey, here's something that had never been done before, but now it's just they've transported that natural behavior they have with their friends and family and so forth over to banking.
Okay, Ken, just the fact that your customers are using emojis to bank makes me want to bank much more with Capital.
Well, great. That's great to hear.
I mean, little known fact, I do like the emojis. Not gonna lie. So, how are chatbots changing the way people think or don't have to think about banking, personal finance, and customer service?
Well, that's just, you hit on the thing about not having to think. And so, and we tend to use the word or the phrase intelligent assistant more often than we use chatbot. The chatbot, I think people gravitate towards, okay, here's a thing that I can go ask questions to, which is something you can do with Eno about your account. But I think the value for customers is really about the things we can bring to you through an intelligent assistant. So I'll give you a simple example. We have a payment reminder from Eno. And so what this does is if the day before your payment is due, you haven't set up a payment yet, Eno will reach out to you over text and remind you, give you that nudge, and also let you pay through Eno if you so choose. Now, when we put that in front of customers in our research lab here, the functionality of being able to pay it was appreciated, but what they really liked was the mental release. And so one of our participants, I stuck in my mind, who said, hey, look, this is great because this is one less thing I now have to worry about. If I haven't heard from Eno, then I don't need to stress over whether or not my bill was due. And I don't have to go do anything, right? It's just, oh, if I haven't heard, which one puts tremendous pressure on us, hey, we better get it right. And better be reliable, which so far has been. But it was about that mental release. Everyone has so many things they're trying to keep track of, and to have an intelligent assistant that is poring over your transactions and surfacing the important stuff to you without you having to, and allowing you to respond effortlessly in channel, that's been a big win for us so far.
When you think of your bank, security and privacy are primary considerations, and financial institutions are high value targets for hackers. How do you keep artificial intelligence system from becoming a cyber attack entry point?
So as a highly regulated bank, security and privacy is always top of mind for us. And when we went onto the Alexa platform, we really had to sort of invent how we would approach that. And so we put three things in place. The first was to enable that skill, you had to log in with the same username and password that you do when you log into our website or our app. Second thing we did was we allowed customers who wanted it. You can imagine you have a different sensitivity if you live by yourself in a studio apartment versus if you live in a home with roommates. They could set up a personal key. So you could set a 4-digit personal like password that Alexa would challenge you for before you could actually go in and do your banking. And then the third thing we did was we were very intentional about the use cases we enabled through the skill. And so you can get lots of information about your account. You can pay your bill, but you can't move all of your money to an outside account or something like that. And so that combined with a lot of the stuff we have on the back end to protect folks against fraud made us comfortable with going out with that experience.
Instead of teaching humans to communicate with machines, teaching machines to communicate with humans. And now with emojis. Thanks again, Ken Dodelin, Vice President of Conversational AI Products at Capital One. If someone wants to connect with you, how can they do that?
Welcome any invites over LinkedIn, or you can tweet me at Ken Dodelin.
Sounds good. And if you guys want to find more of my interviews, you can do that right here on ZDNet or Tech Republic, or maybe go to my website, tonyahall.net. I've got links to all my social sites. Thanks for watching.